Hi, and welcome to Jody Drawn Out. I'm standing in front of La Cubana City. This building was built in 1893. The second floor was a cigar factory where it housed over 145 Cubans that rolled cigars until they gained their independence and left. In 1903, it became an industrial school for girls. They lived here on the premises and went to school. By 1908, they had over 70 students. They had a dairy farm, flower gardens, vegetable gardens, and their favorite pastime was making sugarcane syrup. In 1978, they allowed boys to start coming. But the second floor has been abandoned. This whole building here has been abandoned for, I'm told, about 10 years. Until now, they have studio spaces up there for local artists, and I'm one of them. I'm in Thomasville, Georgia. Let's take a tour. So our space is in the back of the building. Boy, the stories that this place could tell, huh? So it's a little rough, but nothing a little bit of paint and some love and a few artists can't fix up. And it's an adventure. And I do like a good adventure. So we're gonna go back here. Our door's back here. That's pretty. I don't always like coming here by myself, but once we get upstairs, it's not too bad. This is where we'll be coloring together for the most part. I will be checking out different locations around the area though. So here's the hall. Yeah, not much going on down there. And the other hall. It gets a little better when we get inside. And here's our studio. So we share this space with a couple of other artists. That's our space there where we'll be coloring together. And there's another room in here. But you can tell that the lighting in here is wonderful. It's a lot of big windows. There are, old classrooms, so it's gonna be great. So I thought you might like to see, a couple of the other rooms that aren't really being used right now. We only have a few artists here, and we did use this room last week for a plein air high cotton event, and we had about 40 really wonderful artists. You can tell just how old this building is, and it's, I'm here alone a lot, so it's a little bit odd. I don't like to be here at night by myself. But I love this room because, I don't know, I just wonder if that's like a humidor where the cigars were stored when they rolled them. Anyway, it's pretty cool. It's a neat building, and I'm sure it has lots of stories to tell. But I hear some weird noises in here, I'll be true. Okay, so let's talk about what is Jody Drawn Out. It's an interactive YouTube channel based on the illustrated coloring calendars that I created over the summer out in Washington State. Let's take a peek at them. This one was inspired by ants. I was out in nature and I just wanted to have some fun with ants. So let's take a peek at February. These ants are hanging out in a cup of hot cocoa and building marshmallow snowmen and just having a great time. They're all interactive with human-sized elements. This is November. We'll be starting this one on Tuesday, and they're hanging out in a cornucopia with all their little bug friends, some dragonflies and butterflies, and it's Thanksgiving. Everybody's supposed to, eat together, right? Okay, every Tuesday and Thursday we'll be coloring together. So we'll be working in one calendar on Tuesday and the other calendar on Thursday. This calendar, also for 2020, is interactive. Each month has the letters of the month hidden in the pictures. Let's take a peek at October. I didn't color all of them because I want to color with you guys, and I just wanted a couple of demonstrations to show you. So his head makes the O, the moon is the C, the T is the cross, another O. This is the B with the fence and the pumpkin. The broken fence here makes the E, and this little extra piece of fence with the vine coming out makes the R. So you have to kind of find the letters, and that's what makes it fun. Let's take a peek at November. The straws make the N, the donut makes the O, the ice cream cone is the V, this cake here is E, another cake M, B makes the macaroons, another E, and then the candle is the R. So they're just really fun, and we're going to be using the Prismacolor Premier Artist Coloring wax-based pencils. They're fabulous. I did a lot of research on them before I purchased them. There's 150 pencils in here, and I wanted to make sure that I liked my purchase, because that's a lot of pencils to own if you don't like them. Everybody raved about them, myself included. I got them on Amazon for, I think, $89. They're very moderately priced, and I didn't have to pay shipping. We're going to be going over very basic techniques to start with, and we'll be working on choosing our colors, where to start, color combinations, and then we'll be working into blending, layering, shading, shadowing, and then later on we'll also be getting into markers, watercolor pencils. We're going to be going over some sharpening techniques today to prolong the life of your pencil, and different erasers for best results in case you make a mistake. So stick around. Don't forget to tune in on Tuesdays and Thursdays at Jody Drawn Out on YouTube. Get your calendar from Etsy. I think the link is below, and you can order it there. I'll ship it within a day, and we can color together. I think you're going to have a lot of fun. I know I am, and you're going to learn a lot. Okay, there's two ways that you can sharpen these pencils. One is to use a sharp blade and rotate the sharpener, not the pencil. And it doesn't chew up the end of your pencil.
Oh, interesting. I would have never known that.
And you get a nice sharp point on there. And we have an audience here, so she didn't know that either. Okay, the other way is to find an old school pencil sharpener. And since we're in an old school, we just happen to have one. Okay, so this is your old school pencil sharpener. And it has helical blades in it, so they are supposed to last for a really, really long time. So we'll just sharpen this guy. Yeah. You don't want to force it in there. You're going to be really careful with these. They're wax, so they're kind of fragile. But they're really good if you drop them. They don't break or anything, but you do want to sharpen them carefully. So that's two ways you can sharpen your colored pencils. All right, well, we've gone over the types of pencils that we're going to be using and how to sharpen them, a couple different ways. And we're going to go over erasers now and paper. So this paper is a mixed media paper. It's a 98-pound mixed media, and that means that it's a lot thicker than the normal paper, and it has a lot more tooth. So in that respect, if you're gonna color with colored pencils on here, it's gonna be a lot harder to erase because of the type of paper that it is. So it has a lot of texture to it, and so those colors can really hide in the cavities of the texture of the paper. But what we're going to be coloring on for the calendar is more like I think it's a 7-pound. So it's a lot smoother, it's a lot thinner. And the pencil color kind of stays on the surface of the paper as opposed to getting embedded into that texture, which makes it a little easier to erase. So I have a few different erasers here. We have a Prismacolor plastic eraser. This is a white rubber eraser. This is a Fact Black 18 eraser, and this one is a retractable click eraser from Pentel. So this is also a rubber eraser, so it retracts, and it's great for small areas in your detail work. So let's try the black one. May leave some marks for you on your paper, and so you're probably not going to want that. So really not the best projects for colored pencils. This one is the Prismacolor plastic eraser. It's nice, but I think that for pencil drawings, it may be better. I can't get very aggressive with it without it making kind of a little bit of a mess. It flakes up a little bit, but not horrible. The rubber eraser is probably my favorite. I can get aggressive with it, and it takes off a fair amount, almost back to the paper. The other thing I want to say is you want to make sure that your eraser is clean before you use it from color to color. And the best way that I have found to clean an eraser like this is on fabric. Sometimes I use my pant leg. This is a canvas cloth, and if you just kind of pull it on there, it comes out really nice and clean. This one is the retractable, and like I said, you can get into some nice little small areas, and it's pretty controllable. So the other one that I was told works really nice that I read about was the Tombow sand eraser. Now I have one on order and it should be here by Tuesday, so we'll definitely go over that. But at this point, we are done. So at this time, I'd like to say thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed the little history about La Cubana City, now known as the Cigar Factory. It was supposed to be a little short video, but it was so much fun I couldn't stop. So anyway, get your pencils and your erasers, pencil sharpeners, and your calendars. Don't forget to get your calendars. You can order them from the link below from Etsy. This is a year-long project, as we're going to be working on the month of the month. So we're starting with November, a little early, but that's okay. I'll have new projects for next year, next November. And we'll be working on one calendar on Tuesdays and the other calendar on Thursdays. And we're going to be adding a lot of things to this. We're going to learn color blending and layering and burnishing, watercolor pencils, fine markers. So we're going to be adding a lot of different things to as we grow, as we get better and more experience with what we're doing. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, both calendars, get one, get two, whatever you like. Get one for a friend, have a coloring party, and catch back here on Tuesday so we can get started. Have a great weekend.